All right, hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're gonna do some coding, and I'm very bored, so we're coding together. So we're coding together. So we're coding together. So we're coding together. Gotta make sure I can view the stream in HD. We're gonna code for 2 hours. 2 hours. Here's my uh, stream recording so I could upload it later. How many people we got in the chat? 2. Me and me. Oh no, me and somebody else. I might have somebody else in my chat. Alright. This is my Steam. These are the video games. These are the goddamn games. You got Assassin's Creed, Baldur's Gate, Batman, Arkham Knight, Counter-Strike, Doom, Dota, Forza, GTA 5, Marvel Rivals, Mortal Kombat, Need for Speed, Overwatch, Sonic, Star Wars Jedi Battlefront, Warhammer 3, and Tekken 7. Those are some crazy ass games. What games do we got? What games do I got? I got right here. Boom, 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 boom. Look at all these games. Look at what are the games? The games are. Where's my games? Where's my games? Right here. These are the games. 20 games, bro. 20 games. What game do we want to make next? Well, here's what I want to do. I want to make a goddamn template because the hardest part is starting. So in my template, you get 5 frames. You get the main frame, and all of it can fit on a 15-inch laptop. Smaller that it can't fit, but 15-inch laptop. So when I work on my desktop and then I save it and I continue working on my laptop, I can do both. So 15-inch laptop, it works. You get the main frame, you get 2 side frames, and you get 1 bottom frame. And they're accessed with buttons. Now, in Java, you got frames. That's the fucking frame. Then you got buttons, and then you got panels. Panels are what get painted and put onto the frames. So you need 2 classes. One class is your main class, which is a frame and also creates all the other frames, creates the buttons. And then you have your other class, which is a panel, and all the painting happens in that panel file, and that gets added to the frames. So you get a frame class and a panel class. Now in the main class, it's a frame, buttons, but it's also runnable. It's a thread.run, which means that's where your animation comes from. That's where your sleeping and pausing and millisecond refresh rates come from. So your refresh rate comes from the main class. Your main class is a panel with buttons. No, your main class is a frame with buttons and runnable. And then you have your second class, which is the panel. And then you have your other objects for your other panels, if you have other panels, or shit like characters and enemies and bullets and bombs and whatever. So let's get to that. Now, I don't know what game I want to make. Here we go. I got Battlefield, Lord of the Rings, Elden Ring, GTA, and yeah. I was thinking GTA 2, but I got no ideas, man. I got no ideas. Battlefield, Lord of the Rings, Elden Ring. I mean, those are the same. Battlefield, GTA 2. Let's try and make GTA2. I'm so bored. These are the games I've played. But let's try and make GTA 2. Let's try and make GTA. So, what you do is you download the clips. I'll show you how you do that. You go Eclipse software. Now, remember, they got versions for like, so you go other releases. These are the versions. One of these will work. It goes even farther. 2018. I believe either 2019 or something like that. So these are the versions of Eclipse. And make sure you download it into 86-bit Apple or Windows, whatever you use. So those are the versions of Eclipse. That's the development software. That's what you see here. And it compiles. So let's go to File, New. This is so retarded. Project. So these are the, I can do Maven, Java, Gradle, and General. Basically, I only have Java. So Java. Now, this right here, JVS Software Entity 17. So with Eclipse, I installed Java 2017. Because that was the last functioning one. So, and then this is how you load, run, and code in Java. Simple as that. It's all free. Project name, Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2. So here's my project on the left. Grand Theft Auto 2. Now the first thing you need is a new package. And that happens in your source folder. So you go new package. Now packages are supposed to be all lowercase, but I named them the exact same thing as the project. I don't care. Grand Theft Auto 2. Exact same name as the project. Because when you shift computers and you want to continue work on your project, if you name packages lowercase, uppercase, then every time you want to continue your work, you have to change from lowercase to uppercase. So I just always do exact same name as the project. Now it creates for you this module info Java. And your code won't work unless you write requires java.desktop and require, I don't know why you need this. This is Excel format, XML. Now, we get two files. Remember, we get first one. Your main file is always the same name as the project. So your main file is always the same name as the project, capitalized. And I'm going to include main method. Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2 include main method. Alright. Now, first thing you want to do, maybe some documentation. So like for the last goddamn bracket, and main class. And right here, main class. Just always add documentation as you go along. Now, the second file is panel object. It's basically an object that's a panel. That's it. I used to name them playing game panel, but I just named it panel object. Simply like that. And the reason why I do that is because all my programs have a panel object file. So I can just copy and paste, and I always have panel object file. So I go class panel object. So public class panel object extends jpanel. And obviously we have to import that. Last bracket, end class panel object. Now, this is one thing that I always forget. So now we got our two files. That's it. Grand Theft Auto and panel object. Let me close some of this stuff. So Grand Theft Auto and panel object. Now, one thing I always forget. So the first thing you always want is your constructor. Public panel object. This runs as soon as you call this class, the constructor, in your goddamn main file. You need a constructor. If you don't put in a constructor, I don't know why I don't automatically make constructors in the main file. But if you don't, you will need to use static everywhere. Static, everything. Because the main method is static. But with the constructor, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And in your main method, you say new Grand Theft Auto 2, which calls the constructor. And then all your work happens in the constructor and nothing needs to be static because it's public. That's it. Do I need void? No, just public. All right. So here, main method constructor. And here, constructor. Now, what did we say? Grand Theft Auto 2 needs to extends JFrame, implements runnable. Maybe I don't need this. And with that, you need public void run. That's that. And in our panel object, we need paint. So I'm going to start stealing stuff from other programs. Go to Final Fantasy. This. I need this. So I need my paint. This will paint the whole panel every time I call repaint. Every time I call repaint. And maybe at override. Because if you write at override, then it will definitely paint everything. And for run, where is run? Oh, just public void run. And public void start. All right. So you need a run and you need a start. So for start, here's my first variable. It's a thread runner. And runner start system.start. And in my run method, I have while true. So it's an infinite loop while true. And I have Boolean main panel paused. If not main panel paused, do stuff. And then my animation. My animation is simply sleeping. Refresh rate. So in my constructor, so this is what I got going on in my constructor method. Set title of the frame to GTA 2. Initiate variables, that's a method. Initiate frames, that's a method. Load images, that's a method. And then start. And then add the key listener and the mouse listener. So let's create those methods. Public void initiate vars, so I can see what all my variables are. Public void initiate frames. Public void load images. My other booleans, W pressed, A pressed. So I always use WASD, D pressed, S pressed. Main panels plus W press A press, and then I also got space press. I added B press. I don't know why I added that. Right. So I got load images, initiate frames, initiate variables, start, which is thread.start, and run, which is the infinite loop. Mouse listener. So this is adding key listeners to the frames. You can add key listeners to other frames as well. But this is adding the key listener because I said this. That's the main frame. So this dot add key listener. And then this dot add mouse listener. So it's adding a mouse listener and key listener to this frame. That's the whole constructor. Now a few extra methods I add are load game, save game, resize image, and is colliding. Those are a few extra methods to add. So save game, save GTA2 game, GTA2 game. So load game, save game, resize image, and the last one I add is colliding. See, this is bugged, but that's okay. So is colliding. Every time you call a method, it can do just run, or it can return a variable, either a number or a true false. This returns true or false because it's Boolean. And you input the x coordinate, x width, y coordinate, y height, second x width, second y height. And it's going to check if they're colliding, which is good because you always got to check if objects are colliding on the screen. This is second x. And load and save. Now, when you call this is colliding, sometimes you're gonna need to adjust the bounds. Like, it's not always perfect. So you may not use like the exact x coordinate. You're gonna have to use the x coordinate minus 25 pixels, or the x dimension plus 25 pixels to add yourself some zone of impact. So that's how you use this one. And that's everything. That is everything. Oh, now we have to create our panel object. So let's just go g.set color color the blue how to paint background of panel. All right. Now let's set up my panel sizes and everything like that. So I also have initiate frames, right? Where is that? Initiate frames. All right. This the set location. I go like say 150 10. This the set dimensions, and I always do it like 600 by 700. Let's go like that. Oh, what is it? Set size. Now these are some ints. So int x location, actually main frame x loc, main frame y loc, main frame x dimension, main frame y dimension. And when I go initiate variables, I go main frame x location equals 150. So when you run your program and you want to edit it, you just edit the initiating variables. You don't gotta like do anything else. X dimension equals 600. Let's make it 650. Main frame y dimension equals 700. And now I set the size, main frame x dimension, and set the height, main frame y dimension, main frame x location, set visible true. Let's see what I have so far. Boom, there it is. It's the main frame 650 by 700, shifted 150 because I'm going to have a frame over here. I'm going to have a frame at the bottom. It's got to fit on the laptop, and I'll have a frame on the right. So frame on the left, frame on the right, the main frame, and small frame on the bottom. And the way they do that is I go J frame, credits frame, help frame. I get 3 extra frames, right? So stats frame, J frame, credits frame, help frame, stats frame. Help frame equals new J frame. Set the title, help. Credits frame equals new J frame. Credits stats frame equals new stats. And now I got stats frame x location, stats frame y location, stats frame x dimension, stats frame y dimension. X location, stats frame y location, stats frame x dimension, stats frame y dimension. And we're going to do all this for help and credits. Help. So now I got all my stats frame x location. Well, I guess one on the right. So equals main frame x location plus main frame x dimension. Y location, main frame, y location. X dimension equals 150. Y dimension equals main frame y dimension. Now we do this for credits and help. So help is on the left. So it says 150. This is minus 150. And credits is on the bottom. So let's just write the stats on the right, help on the left, credits on the bottom. So credits, y dimension is 100, x dimension, main frame, x dimension, plus main frame, y. And there's a problem because is there a problem? The frames have to go before the variables, I believe. So, right? So start off with frames first, then the variables, then the images, then start. And if I make them set visible true, help frame dot set visible true, stats frame dot set visible true, credits frame dot set visible true. Now what do I get? Let's see what I get. Bugged out. Why did it bug out? Why did it bug out? Maybe I'll just make these frames because I'm calling frames before variables. So maybe I'll do. Wait, can I call variables? So variables always goes first, and then frames. But it's gonna give me an error. No? Oh, these are variables and the frames are here. Okay. So let's see what I got. Oh, now I gotta go. Help frame dot set size. Help frame x dimension. Help frame y dimension. Help frame dot set location. Help frame x look. Help frame y look. Then I go to stats, stats, credits, 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 stats, 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 stats. All right, here's everything. GTA 2. I don't know why there's no title. Oh, I didn't set the title. Why is there no title? If I make it bigger. So there's a title, it's just not big enough. It's just not big enough. Credits should have a title. Yeah, credits has one because it's big enough. So this is what the layout looks like. 150 plus 150 is 300 plus 650, 950 by 700 plus 800. So it's 950 by 800. And now, if I want to change something, I go into that's my initiate frames. Now I go into my initiate variables and I change something. The main frame, the stats frame, the help frame, the credits frame. That's what I do. Now the same thing happens with all my other variables. So initiate variables, that's all my credits. That's all my frames. Now, main panel paused. equals false. Boom. Now I need my J buttons. So I go J button, pause button, play button, stats button, help button, credits button. And of course I got to import J button. So initiate variables. Initiate the variables and dimensions. Initiate the frames and locations and sizes. Load images. Now, how do we add content to the panels? Let's add content to the panels. We do that with our buttons. Actually, one more variable needs to be made. And that is... Actually, let's do it with the frames. Let's do it at the very start. Initiate frames, objects, so let's go main game panel equals new panel object. Oh, and I have to declare it up here. Panel object main game panel. Boom. And now I know g.fill rect 0, 0. We said 650 by 700. So now we want to add the stuff. So the last two things is buttons, and we do our buttons in the constructor. That's where I do my buttons in the constructor. Constructor key listener, mouse listener, and buttons. And one more thing is the closing message. Are you sure you want to close? So I haven't added that. You can Google how to add that on your own. I'll add that later. Are you sure you want to exit? Confirm, close. Now for my buttons. Let's just go like this. Copy this. So there's the buttons. Play, pause, credits, help, stats. Always the same in every program. Pause button. Here I also have a boolean in the panel object file. Boolean is paused. Is paused equals false. And that's in my paint. If is paused. So remove Oh, J panel, main panel. Now I have a J panel as well. J panel, main panel. Remove main panel. Now when you click pause, what happens? Main panel, add the play button. It's a border layout. So north, east, west, south. I create that here, border layout. Add the play pause north button. Add the object in the center. Credit south, stats, east, help west. That's that. I do the same thing for pause. Now I just said pause button. So simply clicking pause and play is going to change right here the boolean for is paused in both files. And it's going to change whether I'm adding a pause button or a play button in the frame. That's it. And help credits stats. That's all there is to it. Buttons. And that's that. That's that. Now, I did that, but I also gotta do all of this initially. So I gotta do it all initially. So I'll do that when I run the constructor for the first time. So all of that was done in the buttons, but now I go initial frame, initial panels. Now, got an error. Oh, now I don't need this line. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Got another error. 124. Oh, I gotta load the buttons before this. Now let's do it with the load. No, let's do it up here. Just the order when your program gets too big, the order you do things. So if I close this, stats, it opens. If I close this, it opens. Close this, it opens. Pause, play, pause, play, pause, play. And there you have it. That's how you get going. So if I go like initiate frames, right? And check this out. It says GTA2 at the top. Pause, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause, play. Stats, use your items. Credits, Dota Ice Frog. Expand your talent tree. Now, this help frame is not big enough. So I want to make the help frame big enough by 50. So I go into my initiate variables, main frame, X location, make it 200. Help frame, minus 200, and make this 200. Now, the help frame is a bit bigger. So now it's 200 by 650, 850. So it's 1,000. Now it's 1,000 by 700 by 800. 1,000 by 800. Say I want to make the stats frame bigger as well. Simply stats frame 200. And I want to make the X dimension bigger. 700. Now it's 200 by 700 plus 200. So 1,100 by 800. That's what I got going on. 1,100 by 800. And in my panel object, all I got is paint and the constructor. Let's fill it by 700 by 700. That's that. And that's everything I need to start Grand Theft Auto 2. How long was that? An hour. So in an hour, from scratch, we did the template for Grand Theft Auto 2. All our buttons work, our frames and our panels. And that's that. And now you want to save it, right? So Eclipse Workspace, Grand Theft Auto 2. So I go into my Java X, Dev Projects, Grand Theft Auto 2. Now inside Grand Theft Auto 2, I create different versions. I save them. No, it only has one version. But I upload them onto the drive and onto the cloud. I keep keeping all the versions. So it has multiple versions. I do it in Microsoft as well. Java programs. Of course, Microsoft doesn't work. Dev projects. Grand Theft Auto 2. Boom. There we go. 1 hour to code the template from scratch. Now, I'm going to save this nice little template. The one thing I'm missing is I'm missing. So load images is not really doing anything, right? So let's load images. Let's add this to load images. And now we got a buffered image. Buffered image. Let's go background image. Background image. Now load images does something. It just shows you how to load an image, like how the code that loads an image, and then you just change the files. That's it. And resize image is being called as well. So load images does something. Initiate frames, initiate variables. Constructor, add the key listener, button listeners, mouse listener, run infinite loop, resize image, save game does something. There we go. Load game does something. There we go. And it returns a string. It returns a string. Now we need load stats. So that is let's go into load stats. So here we have an in time score. There we go. Time equals 0. Score equals 0. Why not? Let's include level as well. Level. Time score level. Level equals 0. So this is how we split up our string to load the stats. And when I click load game button, simply load stats. And stats is load game A. So let's do load game button. Let's go another J button. Save. button, save game A button, load game A button. Save game A button, save A, load game B button, load game A button, load A. And let's take this. Load game. And save game as well. Boom. Now I put my load game and my save game in the credits right at the bottom here. Load game, save game. And now I can load images. I got some animation. Now the animation will happen in the infinite loop. In the run loop, that's where the infinite loop will run. And any big commands, I can create methods for those which are called from the infinite loop, like update cycle or whatever. And I put that in the infinite loop. So that's where my code runs. I can load images. I got score, level, time, pause, resume. My frames, load game, save game. Now I don't have, are you sure you want to exit? So let's add that as well. Confirm close message. Let's put that at the end. To do that, I need to put in this. And Now I just gotta call it. All right, so let's see if it's gonna work. I did that in the constructor, right? So here's my constructor, all my buttons. Let's go set Windows events. Let's see. Boom, I already show you what to exit. Now I got the exit message as well. Now that's everything. That is everything. Load game, save game, images, infinite loop, start. Constructor, load stats, load images, initiate frames, initiate variables, main method. Class variables. Imports. AWT swing. That's everything. That's my new template. Imports. AWT. Now I know I don't have any math. Like math.random. I use that as well. But you can add that later yourself. Boom, 600 lines. And this one is 40 lines. And that's how we do it. So now I'm going to upload version 2. So Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2. Now let's go all of this. Control C. And let's go Eclipse Workspace. Let's go new folder templates. And let's paste it into there. So now I go Eclipse Workspace templates. So I tried to make it right here with this panel object, template class, template object. Maybe I'll throw that into this file as well. So templates. Let's take template class, put that to templates. Feel free to template. Now, one more thing I have when I'm coding is I have this design objectives, which I write all my updates. So if you work on a different computer, you can know which things you updated and what to download. And that's that. Started Grand Theft Auto 2. From a template. Alright? Peace. And yeah. Dead tired. Oh, this is the old one. So there's these games. And then I got my games. One more time. Play, pause, help, credits, stats. Are you sure you want to exit? Perfect. Stay real.